संदर्शनम विषयिनाम अतः योषिताम च संदर्शनम विषयिनाम अतः योषिताम च आहंता हंता विषभक्षणो भिक्षणन्तो विषभक्षणान्तो अभी असाधु निष्किञ्चनस्य भगवद्भजनोन्मुखस्य पारं परं जिगमिशोर्भवसागरस्य संदर्शनां विषयिणां मदयोषितां च आहन्त हन्त विषभक्षणोऽन्तोऽपि स असाधु Anybody would like to repeat? Or I'll repeat once more. Nishkinchanasya bhagavad-bhajanonmukasya param param jigamishor-bhavasagarasya sandarshanam vishayinam atayoshitam cha ahanta hanta vishabhakshanantopyasadu
निष्किञ्चनस्य भगवद्भजनोन्मुखस्य पारं परं जिगमिशोर्भवसागरस्य संदर्शनं विषणीयाम् अतयोषितां च आहन्त हन्त विषभक्षन्तु अपि असाधु
आहन्त हन्त विषभक्षणानप्यसाधु निष्किञ्चनस्य भगवद्भजनोन्मुखस्य पारं परं जिगमिशोर्भवसागरस्य संदर्शनं विषयिणाम् अतयोषितां च आहन्त हन्त विषभक्षणानप्यसाधु. Can you ask him to stop that? Yeah, he can stop the entire cooking. Anyway, there's fasting till noon. Nishkinchanasya, of a person who has completely detached himself from material enjoyment, Bhagavat, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhajana, in serving, Unmukasya, who is eager to be engaged, Param, to the other side, Param, distant, Jigamisho, who is desiring to go, Bhavasagarasya, of the ocean of material existence, Sandarshanam, the seeing for some material purpose, Vishayinam, of persons engaged in material activities, Atha, as well as Yoshitam, of women, Cha, also, Ha, alas, Hanta Hanta, expression of great lamentation, Vishabhakshanantaha, than the act of drinking poison, Api, even, Asadu, more abominable. Translation purport by His Divine Sabai Charananda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Greatly lamenting the Lord, then informed Sarvavam Bhattacharya, alas for a person who is seriously desiring to cross the material ocean, and engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord without material motives, seeing a materialist engaged in sense gratification, or seeing a woman who is similarly interested is more abominable than drinking poison willingly. I can repeat the translation. Greatly lamenting, the Lord then informed Sarva Bhattacharya, alas, for a person who is seriously desiring to cross the material ocean and engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord without material motives, seeing a materialist engaged in sense gratification, or seeing a woman who is similarly interested is more abominable than drinking poison willingly. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. This is a quotation from Sri Chaitanya Chandrodaya Nataka. Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enunciates the principles for a sannyasi renouncing the material world for spiritual advancement. Spiritual advancement is not meant for magic shows and jugglery, but for crossing the material world and being transferred to the spiritual world. Paramparam Jigamisho means desiring to go to the other side of the material world. There is a river called Vaitharani, and on one side of the river, of this river, is the material world, and on the other side is the spiritual world. Since the Vaitharani river is compared to a great ocean, it is named Bhavasagara, the ocean of repeated birth and death. Spiritual life aims at stopping this repetition of birth and death and entering into the spiritual world where one can live eternally cognizant and blissful. Unfortunately, the general populace does not know anything about spiritual life or the spiritual world. The spiritual world is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Parastasmatu pavonya vyakto vyakta sanatana yasa sarveshu bhuteshu nashyat vinashyati. Yet, there is another manifested nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. Thus, there is a spiritual nature beyond this material world, and that spiritual nature exists eternally. Spiritual advancement means stopping material activities and entering into the spiritual activities. This is the process of Bhakti Yoga. In the material world, the via media for sense gratification is mainly a woman. One who is seriously interested in spiritual life should strictly avoid women. A sannyasi should never see a man or a woman for material benefit. In addition, talks with materialistic men and women are also dangerous, and they are compared to drinking poison. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very strict on this point. He therefore refused to see King Prataprudra, who was naturally always engaged in political and economic affairs. The Lord even refused to see the king despite the request of a personality like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was the Lord's intimate friend and devotee. This is the purport of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Leela 11.8. Om Jnana Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutare Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Devye Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatyadejanamine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasanti Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today is the divine disappearance day of Sri Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, a great Vaishnava Acharya in our lineage, who is the 30th Acharya in our Sampradaya. 32nd Acharya is Srila Prabhupada. right? So before we extensively discuss about Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, we would also speak about two other Vaishnava Acharyas who have left this world around 3 days back on the Gopastami day. Okay, so we will talk about Sri Gadadhar Dasa. So Sri Gadadhar Dasa is a great Acharya, okay, who is considered as another important branch from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, Sri Gadadhar Dasa is the 23rd branch, was understood to be the topmost, for he induced all the Muslim Qazis to chant the holy names of Lord Hari. So in those days, that was the kingdom of the Muslim government, right? Nawab Hussain Shah's government. In the Nawab Hussain Shah's government, Gadadhar Dasa was inducing great Muslim Qazis to chant the names of Lord Hari. Hari Bol, such a great Acharya. Okay, I'll just read from my notes. I have already made some notes long ago. So Gadadhar is introduced as one who has made all Qazis chant Puri names. See, that is a great quality. Great introduction, right? He lived in India Daha Grama after participants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He moved from Navadvipa to Katwa to hear more and more. He is different from the Gadadhara Pandita Goswami. You know, there is one more Gadadhara Pandita coming in the. Who is that? Huh? Yeah, in the Panchatattva, there is one more Gadadhara Pandita Goswami. He is different from the Gadadhar Dasa, whom we are talking about. Okay. So combined part potency is a combined potency of Chandrakanti, effulgence of Srimati Radharani, and Purnananda, foremost girlfriend of Sri Balarama is Sri Gadadhara. So he established a temple of Sri Gaurasundara in Katwa. Where is Katwa? Katwa is a place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted sannyasa. Okay, so that is a brief introduction of Gadadhara. Then another great Acharya who left his body in this on this the Gopastami day is the great Acharya named Srinivasa Acharya. We will spend a bit more of time for Srinivasa Acharya. So Srinivasa Acharya is uh, appeared. Uh, Actually, there's a devotee named Chaitanya Dasa. His previous name was, I think, Gadadhara Bhattacharya, and his wife's name was Lakshmi Priya. I think Gadadhara Bhattacharya. Later on, he will be initiated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Chaitanya Dasa. Why? Because he was such a great devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he used to live a little far away, this father of Chaitanya Acharya. He used to live a little far away from the Navadvipa. So when the message came out that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to take sannyasa, and he rushed immediately to Katwa. Okay. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, what was his Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's weapon, His beauty is his weapon. He's so beautiful. Okay. And that's so beautiful. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who had, lovely hair, he has now decided to become sannyas. So then, so there was one barber who was supposed to do this job. He was very, very hesitant. He doesn't want to shave Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu insists that you should shave my head. Okay. As soon as, everybody's crying, seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepting sannyas. Okay. And then, this barber shaves Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and immediately he faints. Okay, that he has done such an abominable act. Like that. So seeing that, all the other, great Vaishnavas of the Navadvipa were also crying. So Chaitanya Dasa, that great devotee who was the father of Srinivasa Acharya, later on when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu moves to Jagannath Puri, comes to Jagannath Puri and stays there for a while, and he continues to worship Jagannath. For a pretty long time, this Chaitanya Dasa and Lakshmi Priya never had any child. So one fine day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu orders him saying that now you are going to have a great child. Now go back to Navadvip. And he will be such a great preacher. So you have to take care of him. So he will go back. So around in 1520s, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left this world in 1534. Right? 1486 to 1534. Around 48 years, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived in this world. So in around in 1520s, so Srinivas Acharya appears in the womb of Lakshmi Priya. So Srinivas Acharya was a very great, he was very learned. Right from the childhood, he used to, you know, learn much faster than anybody else. He was such a great Vaishnava right from the childhood. Later on, as it was indicated, at an appropriate age, his father Chaitanya Dasa, actually Srinivas Acharya was associating with Narahari Sarkar. Narahari Sarkar also was a great Vaishnava Acharya. I am telling all these names. You should kindly take some time out. Today is Sunday. Okay, go and spend some time in understanding these great Acharyas. Who are all these great Vaishnavas? Because time is less and my throat is also not so great. Okay, I'll have to, take little bit time only on these pastimes. But these are all wonderful, great Vaishnava Acharyas. So on the order of Narahari Sarkara tells Srinivasa Acharya, you should immediately go to Navadvip. Okay, at any time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu may wind up his pastimes. We don't know. So then Srinivasa Acharya, but again, I think by the time Srinivasa Acharya decides to go, he was still a young boy, hardly some, 14, 15 years or even lesser than that. Then the message comes to the Navadvip that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu already left the world. So it was a great concern. Then Srinivasa Acharya goes to Navadvip, to Jagannath Puri. The order was that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu orders him that he should learn Bhagavatam from Gadadhara Pandita. Gadadhara Pandita in the Panchatattva mantra. Hmm? Who is incarnation of Radharani herself, right? So Gadadhar Pandita Goswami was, taking care of which deity at Jagannath Puri? I want to hear from those who are a little bit senior. Huh? Which deity at Jagannath Puri? Huh? You all should know this. Anybody from online? Anybody from online? Which is the deity which Gadadhar Pandita was?
Vimala Devi.
Huh? Mm-hmm. Huh? Okay, I'll give one clue. That is one of the deities into whom Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went in, disappeared. Yes, Tota Gopinath.
Yes, Tota Gopinath.
Yes, Tota Gopinath. I gave a very big clue. So when Gadadhar Pandita was becoming old, Tota Gopinath decided to sit down, right? He was actually standing deity. Okay? Because seeing that Gadadhar Pandita was not able to garland him, okay, he decides to sit down. Great wonderful pastimes. So such Gadadhar Pandita was feeling lot of pangs of separation from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was continuously crying. So when Srinivas Acharya comes to him, then saying that, please teach me Bhagavatam. Then he says, okay, open my Bhagavatam book. That Bhagavatam book means not book like today, it is all Talapatra, right? So that whatever he was crying, with that the Talapatra became wet and the entire, whatever that manuscript was kind of completely either decomposed, not decomposed, it's completely gone. So then Srinivas Acharya says, how can I learn Bhagavatam? Then Gadadhar Pandita says, now you go back to Navadvip and get one more, uh, you know, uh, manuscript of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So he goes and he meets all other Vaishnava Acharyas, Sarvam Bhattacharya and other great Vaishnavas in the Jagannath Puri, and then slowly goes to Navadvip, and then Narahari Sarkar will scold him. What are you wasting time? Now take this copy immediately, go back. Okay. So then he goes back. But then again, he meets some people in the Navadvip. Okay. And then he goes back. By the time he goes back, Gadadhar Pandit also left this world. He was shocked. Then Srinivasa Acharya goes back to Narayana Sarkar. What to do now? Now you go to Vrindavan. Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami are there. Then he says, okay. Then he goes to, while going en route, he was trying to find out, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan. A very inquisitive boy. Huh? So then comes to Banaras. In Banaras, I'm telling all these names. You should all search, spend some time today. Huh? So then he goes to Chandrasekhar Acharya, another great Acharya in the Banaras. Then he spent some time in Banaras. Then he comes to, he was coming to this Prayagraj. Then when he was in Prayagraj, he comes to know that this Sanatana Goswami left this world around 4 months back. He was shocked. Then he started rushing faster. Okay, because everything you have to walk, no, not like taking one flight. Huh? So from Prayagraj, he comes to Mathura. By the time he comes to Mathura, he comes to know that Rupa Goswami also left this world around 3 days before. He was shocked. He was thinking, now what will happen to me? What will happen to my studies? And then it is better to give up his life. He simply, went on, spending time with so many associates, not studying. So then he decides to give up his life fast unto death. So he was like that fasting at the Yamuna. So then Rupa Goswami comes in his dream saying that, no, I have ordered that you should take initiation from Gopala Bhatta Goswami and you should also do your studies under Jiva Goswami. So then Srinivasa Acharya goes to Vrindavan. So the story goes on that, he takes the initiation from Gopala Bhatta Goswami. Who is Gopala Bhatta Goswami? What was his deity? Radharaman was his deity. Right? How did Radharaman came out as Radharaman? Gopala Bhatta Goswami, once went to Gandaki. He was taking bath. He went to, he took his lota, took some water and tried to pour. Saligrams came. Okay, then Saligrams are there. No, I cannot, I'm a Babaji. How can it worship all of them? Then he put back the Saligrams. Then again he took some lota of water. He was about to put it. Again, some Saligrams came out. Okay, I'll stop this here so the devotees can see. Okay. Huh? Again, some Saligrams came up. Then he was wondering, oh, again Saligrams came. Again put back. Because he didn't want to take the responsibility of worshipping. Okay. Then again he takes one more lota of water from the Gandaki river. Again the Saligrams came. Then he decides, okay, the Lord wants me to worship. So then he comes down to Vrindavan and he starts worshipping. Later on, as we know, Akbar has taken out the firman saying that, you can build Hindu temples. For good around 150 years or so, or very soon more than that, nobody could build a temple in North India. Okay? So Akbar had removed that firman and anybody can build temples. So then all the Acharyas, Jiva Goswami and all of them, they all had deities. But only Gopala Bhatta Goswami did not have any deities. So one fine day he would be praying that, I didn't have any deity. So on the day of the Narasimha Jayanti, from the one of the Shaligramas, Radharaman had appeared suddenly. So the next day morning, he sees Radharaman. So such great Gopala Bhatta Goswami, it is said generally, Srila Prabhupada also told our devotees to learn the deity worship standards from the Radharaman temple. So that is Gopala Bhatta Goswami. So Gopala Bhatta Goswami teaches to Srinivasa Acharya and also Jiva Goswami also teaches. So once their education was completed, there were three devotees, great acharyas after after the Goswamis, after the six Sat Goswamis, it is Srinivasa Acharya, Narottama Das Thakura, and who is the third one? Shyamananda Pandit. Hmm? Shyamananda Pandit. So Shyamananda Pandit was called as Dukhi Krishna, who was called as Dukhi Krishna, but Dukhi Krishna Das became Shyamananda Pandit because he was able to serve Radharani personally. Okay. So these three devotees were ordered by Jiva Goswami to go to different places in the country and preach extensively. And the responsibility was that, whatever the great acharyas have written, the Goswamis have written, that literature was supposed to be taken in a big, bullock cart and taken to the Navadvip. Because that was the order given by Janava Mata, who was the wife of Nityananda, Nityananda Prabhu. So then they all come to Bengal. And in those days, it's all Muslims were there everywhere. There were always dacoits will be there, right? So there were around 10, sepoys were also given as to protect. Chiba Goswami ensures that, he get the permission that the Jaipur kings give a permission because Jaipur kings were practically holding the Mughal Empire in those days. Hmm? So Jaipur kings give them one passport and they all go towards the uh, Navadvip. So when they were approaching the Navadvip, just about to approach the Navadvip, there was one great king named Birambir. Okay. So even though he was a great king, he also had one habit of stealing things from the travelers. Okay. So this Birambir, once one astrologer tells him, "So one great treasure is coming to your kingdom. Huh? You should send your people, send your sepoys to steal that treasure." You know what the treasure? All the treasure which is being carried by Srinivasa Acharya and Narottama Das Thakura, the books. Okay. So they were coming and at an appropriate place, where, they all got tired. So they all start taking rest. All the sepoys and everybody start taking rest in the night. So they saw that everybody's taking rest. So these Birambis, sepoys, army men, so closely, carefully go and steal that treasure. Okay. So after stealing the treasure, they immediately come to the king. Yes, we found it in the dead of the night. Okay. He immediately gets that treasure open. What is the treasure inside? Books. Books. He was shocked. Okay. What this astrologer has told that there is a book. Okay. Then he starts opening Bhagavatam. Okay. He starts reading. So maybe, Lord wants me to become a great devotee. But then he starts wondering, I made a big offense. I stole all this, books which are all, taken by one great sannyasis. Hmm? I made a big offense. So something will happen to me now. Hmm? I may have to, great something will be happening to me like that. He will be worried and he does not know what to do. So then Srinivasa Acharya apparently comes in the dream saying that don't worry, I'll come eventually to your place. Okay. So in the meanwhile, everybody that next day morning they all get up. Okay, they all will be wondering what happened. This, the books are lost and all of those things and that everybody starts crying. Okay, then Srinivasa Acharya and they all search everywhere, they couldn't find. Then Srinivasa Acharya tells Narottama Das Thakura and also Shyamananda Pandit, you go to your respective places to start preaching this one. I will personally try to search and try to get these books. So then he slowly comes to this Birambir's kingdom, and there is one great one person, one Brahmana says that oh, you are such a great Vaishnava, you are having such wonderful qualities. Even the Raja of this place also is a Vaishnava. You should go and go to his place. So they all go to the place, and Birambir, he was hearing this Bhagavatam from some unknown person, some his name was Vyasacharya. Even though his name was Vyasacharya, but he was not a perfect in reading and all of those things. So then Srinivasa Acharya identifies that he is doing a wrong reading of Bhagavatam, and then he objects. After some few days, he objects. Then Birambir says, "Why don't you give your own understanding or interpretation of Bhagavatam?" Then he gives all the interpretation of the Jiva Goswami and all of those things and all. Then they will be wondering stuck, they will be wonderstruck. It was such a great interpretation. Then later on, Birambir says that, sir, actually, you know, and this is so and so books are there, and we have actually stolen it. But when some astrologer told, I have committed such a great sin. What should I do? Then, uh, sorry. Then Srinivasa Acharya says, no need to worry. And, he starts getting all those treasure. And then he sends a message to Jiva Goswami and others. And using this Berambir, and, he, spreads Vaishnavism to the entire, that particular place. Actually, it is said Narottama Das Thakura and Shyamananda Pandit were such a powerful preachers. Entire Manipur becomes a Vaishnava state in those days. So such great Acharya was Srinivasa Acharya. He has much more wonderful pastimes because now today his focus is about. I would request you all to read about Srinivasa Acharya and how he has guided various kings and such kind of things. You can understand. Now let's move on to Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaja, a very great transcendental Acharya. He is called as Bhajananandi. So there are two types of Acharyas. One is a Bhajananandi, another is a Goshtyanandi. A Goshtyanandi is a one, he has pleasure in spreading Lord Krishna's names by Goshti, means explanation and communicating, preaching aggressively. That is a Goshtyanandi. Another great type of Acharyas are called as the Bhajananandis. They used to deliver the entire world just by their great bhajana. Okay, they will be staying in a very secluded place and doing a wonderful bhajana. Okay, so Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was a Bhajananandi. So Maharaj, in his previous life, he was a grihastha prior to becoming a Babaji. He was a great, he was a grihastha, he was an illiterate, he didn't even know how to write. Okay. So he was just a farmer, very, very honestly, he was earning through, he was, farming corn. And then later on, he gets, detached from his wife and then he moves towards Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, one of the disciple of Sri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj gives him the Babaji Diksha. See, Babaji Diksha is like a sannyas Diksha, which is different from the Harinam Diksha. He gets actually Harinam from the Bhaktivinoda Thakur Diksha. So, but anyway, Babaji Maharaj, he was the Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was living in Vrindavan for 30 years. And he was living a life of very, very austere life. Just unimaginable. How he used to get some cloth, some dead bodies. He used to go to burial ground. Some leftover cloth. He used to take that leftover cloth. He used to wash in Yamuna, cut pieces, and from that he used to wear, and he used to make his kaupina, and also used to make his outer garment. Okay. And he was very strict also from where he used to eat food. Okay. He used to go to when very, very respected, proper Vaishnava Grihasthas. And he used to get, what he used to get, what Bhiksha used to take, he used to take flattened rice or what? Not muri, that dry rice flakes. Okay, he used to take that parched rice flakes and he used to put in Yamuna, soak it in Yamuna river water. Once it becomes little bit softened, he used to eat that. Okay. Like that, he used to do wonderful, standards of, his austerity. Hmm. So like that, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was chanting around 128 rounds every day. He also used to, how many rounds? 16 rounds only difficult. He used to chant 128 rounds every day for how many years? For almost 30 years he was like that in Vrindavan.
Before even getting initiated by Gopinath Thakur.
Yeah, yeah. Because anyway, he got the Babaji Diksha from one of the disciples of Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. Okay. He was doing that. And he was doing, yeah. Okay. So, he was also in the Barsana. He served Radha Krishna there. He used to every day offer garlands. He used to make garlands and used to offer. And he was achieving such a great, standards of renunciation, where everybody was attracted to his very high standards of renunciation. Then later on, he gets some inspiration that he has to come to Navadvip. He comes to Navadvip, and then he comes to Swananda Sukhadakunj, the place where Bhaktivinoda Thakura used to live. Okay, that is his Bhaktivinoda Thakura's house. So he used to regularly associate with Bhaktivinoda Thakura. Bhaktivinoda Thakura was a Grihastha. Okay, and he was very, very exalted, Bhaktivinoda Thakura. He used to hear from him. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also personally composed many songs, right? And Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, all his education was only hearing, no studying, because he was not a literate, but he was illiterate, but he was, such a great Vaishnava. Okay, I'll tell the story of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura was a highly learned scholar. Okay, in his days, there was nobody who could defeat Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura. So there used to be so many apasampradayas. There were 13 apasampradayas in the Vaishnavism. And then there were all this Arya Samajis, this, that, so many different types of conclusions. So, what is that FC? Can I get little hot water? Mm. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was such a great scholar, and he also wrote this what call as a book on even astrology also. Such a wonderful scholar. When he used to go to debate with Arya Samajas. First, they'll get defeated. Then they say next time, don't quote anything from Vedas, only Upanishads. Only Upanishads. And then he'll go, no, first they'll say, don't quote anything from Puranas. He'll say, okay, accepted. He'll again come for the debate. Then they'll get defeated. Then next time they say, don't quote anything from the Puranas. Then I say, he says, okay. Then again he'll go, okay, sorry. You can take it anytime, no problem, if you want to take. So then again, what do you call, they say that, okay, you should not quote any of the other Dharma Shastras and all of those things and all. He'll say, okay, accepted challenge. Again, he'll go. They'll get defeated. Again, they'll say, no. Don't quote anything from the Upanishads, only original Vedas. Okay. Again, he'll go. He'll defeat them. So, such a great scholar. What was this? That the importance of showing that Lord is a personal form. Because these Arya Samajis, they don't accept personal form of the Lord. In fact, they say, if you are going to a temple, what is that? You are not actually a Hindu. That is their conclusion. Their conclusion is what? Arya Samaj says it is only, you should do only havans. That's all, nothing else. If you go to a temple, if you are accepting some kind of a worship, no, you are not a Arya. So such great Acharya is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So now he goes to Bhaktivinoda Thakur and asks where I can take initiation. He says that you should go take initiation from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, who is an illiterate. Okay. So then Bhakti Siddhanta goes to Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj saying that, I want to accept initiation from you. First, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he runs away from that scene because he doesn't want to accept any service from anybody. Okay. I'll tell another story later on. Okay, about if somebody wants to serve him, what he does. So Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj runs away. Say, no, I cannot. So then Sir Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, no. Your Guru Bhaktivinoda Thakur has ordered me to accept Diksha from you. So then he says, no, I'll ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu whether I should give initiation to you or not. So then, okay. Then again, next day, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur comes. Then, can I take initiation from you? He says, no, I forgot to ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then he says, okay, fine. Then again, next day he comes again. Have you, every day he comes from Calcutta to Mayapur and again go back like that. Okay. So then he asks whether you have asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says, no, I have not yet asked. I forgot. So then, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that any number of times you want me to come, I will come. Because this is the order I received that I should take initiation from you. Okay. Then he quotes how Ramanujacharya, right? Ramanujacharya, how he got the Harinam Diksha? 18 times Ramanujacharya traveled from Kanchipuram to Srirangam. Okay. To meet that Goshti Purna. Because actually Ramanujacharya's guru is Yamunacharya, but Yamunacharya could not initiate Ramanujacharya. He leaves his world by that time. So he appoints 5 devotees to teach 5 different things to Ramanujacharya. So he finishes all the 4, and the last person was the person who was supposed to give the mantra diksha. So that person was unyielding. Ramanujacharya tries every day, travels far away and goes back and comes. He says, can I take diksha from you? He says, today is not good muhurta, go back. Then again he'll go back. Again he comes back. Like that 17 times he does, Ramanujacharya. Okay, all times he says, go back. Today is not good day. Today is not good something. Today is not something good. Go back. And finally at the 18th time, that Acharya gives him the mantra diksha. That is Ramanujacharya's quality. So then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that how many times, any times you want me to come, I will come. But you please, somewhere you should give me diksha, like that he says. And then that day, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was very, very happy. And then he gives him this, dust of his lotus feet. And then accepts Srila Bhakti Siddhanta as his disciple. What is the previous name of Bhakti Siddhanta, or what is the initiated name of Bhakti Siddhanta? Sri Varshabhanavi Devi Taitaya. That is his name, initiated name given by Babaji Maharaj. So, Babaji Maharaj was, as I said, his standard of renunciation is very, very high. So once he was in Navadvipa, so a great Maharaja of Kashi Bazar named Manindra Chandra Nandi Bahadur requests him saying that, through one of his servants, requests Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj to come to his place and do pravachan or whatever. Then immediately Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj says, if he wants to associate with me, the king, I would request the king to give up all his kingly opulence and come to my place in my bhajana kutir, and we can do bhajana jointly. Why he said is, if I come to that king's place, I would become very envious. Oh, this person is having so much of opulence. I don't have anything. Huh? I will start feeling like that. Huh?
But he left his choice. Why you would feel that way?
Huh?
He renounced everything, his choice, right? Why you would feel that way again if anything?
That is the humility. That's the humility of Babaji Maharaj. Babaji Maharaj was a great Bhajananandi. He's a pure devotee. He will never get affected by any opulence. But he wants to demonstrate to the world that we should not unnecessarily, associate with anybody who is materialist. No, that is his very high standard. So he said, you give up all your opulence and then come to my place and then we will do joint bhajana. So like that. So then later on, some other time, Babaji Maharaj says that if you want to perfect your bhajana, what you should do? You should give up your desire to have different types of bhojana. Okay. No, no, no. They are all prasadam only. If you want to do bhajana properly, give up your desire for having different types of bhojana. So one of his disciples once named Harin Babu. Okay. Somebody invites him to some festival. Okay, Vaishnava festival only. Okay, Vaishnava festival only. You come and have prasadam. So this disciple goes and accepts some prasadam there. Then comes back to Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj. Maharaj stops talking to him. 1 day over, 2 day over, 3 days over. For 3 days, he doesn't even speak to him. On the fourth day, Harin Babu, says that, please somehow accept me like that. So then Babaji Maharaj scolds him, saying that if you want to have perfection of your bhajana, you should give up desire for different bhojanas. Huh? Like that. So one day later on, few days later, suddenly, Babaji Maharaj comes out and says, today is a great Sanatana Goswami's disappearance day. Let us celebrate a grand feast, a grand festival. All the disciples are confused. So one disciple will go and ask, where is the means in which we can celebrate a great festival? He said, what is there? Our grand festival is what? Eating. Fasting and nicely chanting. Haribol. So that is the standard of worship, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj has enunciated. So once one very, very fancy devotee from the city comes to Bhajan Kutir of Babaji Maharaj in Katwa. No, not Katwa, Kulia Gram. Okay. So he's asked, what is my Siddha Pranali? You know what is Siddha Pranali? Siddha Pranali means once you go to the spiritual world, you would know what is your position. Are you a calf, or are you a tree, or are you some monkey in in spiritual world? Yeah. So there is one Apasampradaya called as Siddha Pranali Sampradaya, wherein the Sampradaya says you should know, you should ask your spiritual master, who are you in that spiritual world, and you should start practicing that now from now onwards. Okay. If you are a monkey in the spiritual world, you should start becoming monkey. Hey, kya hai? That kind of things are there. Apasampradayas are there. Bhaktivinoda Thakura, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakura spoke vehemently against such kind of apasampradayas. So one such person comes to this Babaji Maharaj and says that can I know what is my Siddha Deha in the spiritual world? He says you cannot know Bhagavan through your fanciful imagination. If you go on chanting the holy name, you will gradually realize the internal meaning of its syllabus. The Swarupa, essential form of the holy name, will manifest itself. The sadhaka, the spiritual practitioner, at that time will also realize his own internal self. At that time also the sadhaka will awaken to his particular divine service to Sri Krishna, the service that will be dear to his heart upon attaining perfection. So what Babaji Maharaj was saying is we have to go on chanting the holy names of the Lord. We should perfect our bhajana. Once we perfect our bhajana, then we will be able to understand internally itself. Holy name itself will manifest it. The Harinam itself, Nama Prabhu itself will manifest it. So, Babaji Maharaj used to get sometimes, get disturbed by all these materialistic people. So once one doctor came saying that, I want to serve all the people of Navadvipa by treating their body. He said, first of all, you give up your doctor business. Huh? You give up your doctor business and come here, just only chant Hare Krishna. Hmm? That is actual blessings. Yeah. So then, once again, all these materialists are all disturbing him so much. You know what Babaji Maharaj does, he goes to lavatory place where nobody would come anywhere there. In those days, lavatory place means what? One area in the village where they go past will come back, right? So there, Babaji Maharaj used to sit there and chant so that nobody will disturb him. Because all these materialists are coming and asking something, give me some blessing, give me that, give me this, give me that questions, stupid questions. Uh, so Babaji Maharaj was getting disturbed, so he used to go and sit in the lavatory place and then do bhajana. So such serious was he. So as he was getting old, somewhere in 1907 or 1908, just 6, 7 years before, he was becoming more and more blind. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura request, because he was his disciple, that you are becoming, you're losing your external vision. Why don't you come to Calcutta? We will treat you. We'll get you treated. So then he says that no, 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 I don't want all illusory universe. I don't want to see this illusory universe. Huh? He says like that. But he still requests. And then Bhaktivinoda Thakur also starts requesting him. Why don't you come? Why don't you come and have your eyes treated? No, 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 I don't want to go to leave this place and all of those things and all. Some wishes will be there in Calcutta. I don't want to associate with any non-devotees. Huh? Then Bhakti Siddhanta says, you can come to our house, na? Bhakti Thakura's house. Huh? You will have the opportunity to serve you. Moment he heard the word, it's the opportunity to serve you, then immediately Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj starts running away. I will go and jump into Ganga. Huh? No, no, I will not jump into Ganga. If I jump into Ganga, I become ghost. Huh? I will jump into Saraswati. It is said that, where Thakura's house is there, behind that there is one small river. That is a manifestation of Saraswati. Okay, I will jump into Saraswati so that I will not become ghost. And then Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj runs into that place and then jumps into that. Everybody is requesting, we will save you, we will save you. No, no. And then he runs away and he disappears. For a good number of how many days? For around 45 days, he was not found. Okay. Hmm. Then just as suddenly he appeared, Swananda Kunja and announced, I can't achieve Sri Krishna by killing myself. Nevertheless, I cannot tolerate anyone serving me. He was so careful. He doesn't want anybody to serve him. Such a great Acharya. So, so one day, always, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur only used to serve him, taking him around everywhere. He was already practically became blind. Okay. So one fine day, he was surprised at middle of the night. Babaji Maharaj came on his own from Kulia to, Navadvip. Okay. He came to the Mayapur where, Bhakti Thakura's house is there in the dead of night. So then he asked him, how could you come? Huh? Did Krishna come and, guided you like that? Bhakti Siddhanta Thakura asks, out of his humility, he says, no, 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 no. Somebody can, took me and actually you have to there's no actual straight path is there. So all Navadvip, no, all are islands, right? You have to actually cross a boat and all of those things. How could you do as a blind man? And that's what the middle of the night. So Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says that actually, Krishna, Rajendra Nandan Krishna only had got Babaji Maharaj to Mayapur. So there are so many more stories are there. Okay. Probably one instruction for the Grihasthas. Okay. Once one, two stories I'll tell. Okay. Strong stories, huh? Be prepared. Mhm. Okay. So once one newlywed couple hmm, from Calcutta, a very, very wealthy landlord, comes to Thakura. Now that I have taken, I'm a Grihastha life, can you give me instruction as to how I should live a proper householder life and also perfect my bhajana? Okay. So then Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, no, 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 as a householder, you'll always have some difficulties. Okay. So he was not so happy. Then he goes and asks Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur. He also says that as a householder, you'll have difficulty in doing your bhajana. Then he says, okay, let me go to Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj. So both Bhakti Siddhanta and this householder goes to Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj asking what is his instruction to a newly married couple. How to both maintain householder life and also do bhajana. Then Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj says, both wife and husband, you should live separately. Okay, then he lives separately for a few days. After living separately for a few days, he again comes to Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj. Then he asks, who is uh, uh, who is cooking? No, who is cooking your prasad? He says, my wife is cooking. I'm actually living separately, uh, but my wife is cooking. Then he says, who is it? So you are associating to her like that through her. Then he says, no, you should cook yourself. Huh? And then he says, you should cook yourself and offer to that Lord and offer to your wife. Okay. After she eats and take that as a prasad, Mahaprasadam and eat. Because both are Vaishnavas. Huh? So in that way, what? You will give up the desire that she is your wife. You should understand that she is also a Krishna Rasi. See, such a strong things, Gaur Vishwadas Babaji Maharaj used to say. Okay. So there are so many other transcendental stories are there, where how he used to, tell to, the, I don't know whether I copied the whole thing. I didn't copy the whole thing. I'll send some of those instructions to, the Gurus, devotees. Okay. So now, most important thing, how he left this world. So Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj, on a day before the Uttana Ekadasi. Today is Uttana Ekadasi. So that's why we actually fast till noon because of his disappearance day. So a day before Uttana Ekadasi, he actually leaves his body, and there was a big competition among these so-called, different Babajis and practitioners in the Navadvip saying that no, his body should be kept in our ashram. Because if you put it in their ashram, what will happen? They are able to make a big samadhi and big business will come. Everybody will come, all travelers will come and have darshan. Like that. Big business. So a big commotion happens. So one police constable, police officer also comes over there. But actually there was only one disciple of Babaji Maharaj, it is Bhakti Siddhanta. But Bhakti Siddhanta at that time, he was only a brahmachari. He strongly says that no, I am the only disciple and I will take care of his last rites. Then everybody says, no, 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 you are not a sannyasi. How you can do it? So then everybody starts again arguing, saying that no, 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 his body should be put in this tomb, this place, this ashram. So then strongly, with a very great strong voice, Bhakti Siddhanta says that is there any person who has no relationship with any woman in the last 1 year? Some people go away. Then he says, anybody is there here who has no relationship with any woman for the last 6 months? The inspector comes and asks, how do you know? What is the proof? He says that I will just go by their words. If they have no association with any woman in the last 6 months, then only they can touch. Few of them go away. Then he says in the last 3 months, again few people go away. And then he says in the last 3 days, few people go away. Okay. Then he says in the last 1 day, practically nobody was there.
Last 3 days what?
Last 1 day.
Last 3 days what?
Is there anybody who has not had any association with any woman? Okay. So the inspector was shocked to see how much of, so-called, Babajis are doing so much, nonsense. So then, somebody, who says that, even once everybody went away, they say that, Sri Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, at the time of leaving this body, his body said that he wanted his body to be dragged in the dust of the Navadvip. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says, no, that is his humility. Okay, like the way Haridas Thakura was carried by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and also carried him because he's such a great Siddha Mahatma. So in the same way, we should actually carry Babaji Maharaj. And then actually, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura carries Babaji Maharaj on his shoulders. Okay, and then goes around entire Navadvip. And then at an appropriate place, they do the, put the Samadhi. Said that there was one Lolai, one Shudra, agrees to give away his land. And, so there they put the Samadhi. But later on, that person who, did all of those, starts doing some illicit activities. It is said that, Ganga, overfloods that area. So then later on, around some 15, 16 years later, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur comes to know about it. And he shifts the Samadhi of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj to our current place, which is there in the Chaitanya Gaudiya Mutt, near that Yoga Pita. So this is the great thing about Sri Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Anybody has any questions? So that, that particular thing happens on the Uttana Ekadasi on the afternoon.
Two questions. So basically, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj Prabhu got his scripture, everything from his father, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, but he got his mantra from basically Shiva, right? So basically, he had two gurus. But anyway, officially, yes. Second question is Gopal Bhattadas, right? That story that you said he didn't have any deities that time. I mean, and in the Vrindavan Rasanga is a song, right? Gopal Bhatki Vidya Vedana plus Shaligram. So there he's greasing about the deity. But even the deity was so difficult to get at those days, and he could get out of his clay or something. What was the challenge there?
Okay. So, first question I'll answer about the Bhaktivinoda Thakura. So, in our understanding, we may have many Siksha Gurus. But the most prominent Siksha Guru is your Diksha Guru. Okay. So, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura, on accepting the initiation from Bhaktivinoda on Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he says that I'm not able to quote exactly verbatim. I will send that thing. It is there in the Harmonist. It is there in one of his magazines. He says that, today I have understood that how fool I am. I'm a really great fool. Huh? I studied all the scriptures, but actually I'm a great fool. Here is such a great personality. Okay, even though apparently he has no ability even to write, huh? He is able to have such a great consciousness. Huh? So it's all about consciousness. It's not about how much you read the literatures, how great a scholar you became like that. Once one devotee asks, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakura, how to quickly go back to Godhead? Huh? Then he says, it only costs 2 annas. You know what is that? It costs only 2 annas. Acha, it costs only 2 annas. He said, what we should do? He says, go to the marketplace, buy the book called as Prarthana book, which is a song book written by Narottama Das Thakura, and also buy a book of Bhaktivinoda Thakura's Sharanagati book, song book. Only that's all. It costs only 2 annas.